It is somehow that time again already, and it's time to do another monthly reading wrap up, this time for the month of July. I cannot believe we are already in August. It's actually kind of insane to me how fast this year is going, and I keep feeling like I haven't been reading very much the last couple of months compared to like the very beginning of the year, but I did actually end up reading 3 books and DNFing 1 book a little over halfway this month. So that's a decent amount. That's about a book a week. I also went and saw Hosier and Green Day this month, so I definitely did not get to read like the days I went to go see them or the days afterwards because like I was so tired and just not in the mood to do anything except for like lay in bed and maybe watch some TV. So I did not get to do a whole lot of reading, but I will quickly share with you what I did end up reading. So I started off July very strong with Horrid by Katrina Leno, and I absolutely loved this book. I was not expecting to love it as much as I did, but I rated it 5 stars. It was so good, and I 100% think that this is a book that is safe to judge by the cover. If this cover seems like interesting to you, you should definitely read it. It is like a dark, spooky, creepy atmosphere meets like a haunted house and well-written characters and just a decent plot too. I really love this book, and I'm definitely going to be looking into more by Katrina Leno. I think she has at least one other book called You Must Not Miss. So that one's definitely being added to the TBR, and I do plan on rereading this one eventually too because it was just that good. Oh my goodness. I was so pumped after I finished that book. I thought I was like in for the greatest reading month ever. But then I started reading Mayfly. It started off okay. I was thinking that it was going to be kind of like a what the heck is going on sort of story, which it was, but not in the way that one would hope or think. It just ended up having too many plots and ideas going at once. I really felt like the author, CJ Lead, should have just kind of picked 1 or 2 plot points and gone with those, but instead she chose like 5, and it just didn't vibe well with me. It also felt like it was going to be a feminist piece, and maybe it ended up being that. I am not sure because I ended up DNFing it like just over halfway through because I just was not feeling it anymore. But it's supposed to be about a female serial killer, and she talks about being like a feminist and stuff, doesn't need to impress a man, so on and so forth, but then spends a majority of what I read of the book trying to impress a man, which just didn't feel right. I don't know what ended up happening with that. Maybe things changed. I honestly don't know. I gave up. It seemed like a really interesting premise, and I was super excited to get into this one. I mean, the cover is freaking cool, but it just was not it. Like, the atmosphere was off. I didn't feel creeped out or anything like that. If anything, I kind of felt bored at times, and it was a huge letdown. So I ended up DNFing that, was very disappointed with it, and it is now waiting to find a new home in a little free library. It was just not for me, unfortunately, and I do not know anyone in my personal life who I think would enjoy that book either. Then I read an arc called Canadian Smoke. This one was just also not my cup of tea. I did persevere through it because with arcs, I just feel like I really should, but it just wasn't for me. I did not enjoy the writing style. It was supposed to be like an action-packed thriller with like a teensy tiny taste of romance. And I don't know, it just did not translate right. I was really confused at the beginning, and then the characters were also not my favorite. I also did not enjoy the romance. Not my kind of romance, that's for sure. And I just felt towards the end it would have translated better as a movie, like Mission Impossible or something like that. I don't know. Definitely could see people liking this book. It just was not for me. So I rated this one 2 stars. I do not think I myself would ever pick up something by this author again, unfortunately. Thankfully, I ended off the month with a high note, and that was Uncanny by Junji Ito. I kind of knew I was gonna love this book just because it's Junji Ito's memoir, and I know I like Junji Ito already, but I really did love it. Also, jump scare. If you take the dust jacket off, oh my goodness gracious, this is what you will get in this memoir. Like, there are a lot of illustrations throughout it that are quite disturbing, but they're like taken from his manga, so get a taste of what a lot of his stories are like. I have read a few of them, but I'm definitely lacking and I need to get on reading maybe a few more. But anyway, this was super interesting. If you are into Junji Ito horror manga, maybe you yourself want to get into creating manga, you should definitely read this book if like any of those descriptions fit you. I will say, however, if you are more interested in like creating manga, keep in mind that this is a horror manga author, so there's a lot of icky stuff in here, but it was super well written. He started off kind of talking about his childhood and how he got into horror and manga, and then from there talked about how he creates characters, plots, stories, atmospheres, places, all that good stuff. And it was super interesting to kind of enter his mind and see how he comes up with some of the icky nasty stuff that he creates. Oh my goodness. So I am super glad that I ended off July with this book because I really needed a pick me up after a DNF and a 2-star read, and I got it. So fingers crossed that August is going to have way more like 4 and 5-star reads than July, because I do not want to have another DNF. I would love to just read books that are amazing. Please let me know in the comments what you read in July and what your thoughts were on the books that you did read. I'm always interested to know what other people are reading and their ratings. And with that, I think I'm going to leave this video here. I hope you have a great rest of your week and happy reading.